see a police with
That's
motorcycle.
called a motorcycle, yeah.
And that, I think, is a siren, so okay. Yeah, we're getting started here, and it's good because I was running out of things to talk about. So, anyway, there's our bicycles.
Now, that's a neat-looking police car there, Mike.
Oh, yeah, well, you know nothing but the best for the Salina Police Department, doggone it, and we try and keep things going, and I hope he doesn't run over somebody there. I don't know what he's doing. But anyway.
He's talking to somebody,
yeah, okay.
just like we are. So.
Yeah. So anyway, we've got quite a few bikes, man. I didn't realize there was going to be a whole bunch of bicycles.
And they actually give out awards for customized bicycles, so you'll see different things. Like there's one guy in the middle there. He's got like a little tricycle that was not originally made like that. So.
No, I don't suppose it was.
There's another nice one, a little high.
A little high, but too high for me, that's for sure.
Yeah. So, okay. Here comes one of the Munster vehicles.
Oh, cool.
This is owned by Eddie Munster, and he's got two of the vehicles that was used on the TV program. So.
And if you come over to the show, he probably would give you an autograph. So,
he will.
So, come on out. Did George build that?
I believe he did.
George Barris is no longer with us, but he also made the Beverly Hillbillies car and the ones for come on, Mike, think. Let's see. Oh, the Batmobiles. Yeah, that's one of the other things that he built. And
okay, coming up looks like a Burgundy, maybe a Plymouth. Probably about 35, 36.
I don't think that's the original engine, do you?
No, I don't think so either. And if you notice this little 54 Chevy, it kind of shrunk.
Oh, that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Now, coming up behind this car is this rat rod. That's kind of a new thing, isn't it?
It is. Hot rods, customs, and now people are going back to rat rods. It's a way to get in and not spend so much money to get a vehicle on the road. But I found that some of the engineering is just fantastic in some of the rat rods. And what's interesting is one of the rat rods that was out here last year ended up as a featured vehicle in the Rat Rod magazine.
Really?
Yes, sir.
I can't believe, and you had told me earlier that this is bringing a new generation into the custom car industry.
The rat rods is bringing the younger generation and some of the older guys that this is how they originally did their hot rodding stuff. So
when did this all start? And explain Kemps to me. Kustom Kemps.
Kemp is a slang term used for a customized car back in the 1950s.
Okay.
Now, you remember the 50s, right, Mike?
I do remember the 50s.
Yeah,
yes, I do.
I figured you did.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
That's why they don't have you on the camera, right?
That's right.
Okay, now there's a mild custom there. See, you put the side pipes on there and some other things, and you ready to roll down here.
Well,
and now there's a red is a Model T Roadster, and that was one of the original hot rod type cars. Take the fenders off and go run them.
That's a classic because you see a lot of those around. It's just some more fun to watch it. Now, is this considered a lead sled, this next one coming
Yeah, that's actually a Kaiser vehicle. They didn't make those very long, but you can tell by the little dip in the windshields.
Okay.
Some old pickups here.
Pickups.
And looks like about a 3940 Ford.
That looks like one of Dad's first cars, as a matter of fact. Now some of these are probably original. I mean, not everything is customized that's out here, correct?
Yeah. Here we come with a couple of Mercurys coming up. One's about a 58, 59, and then behind it is the original Mercurys from the 49, 50, 51 time frame. And I think Jerry's first car was a 49 Mercury four-door. And you see that door in the back?
Yeah, that
suicide door.
And now that obviously is customized because that car didn't come out with a suicide door on it, did it?
Yeah, it did.
It did.
But it's got a 54 Chevy front grille on it.
Oh my gosh, that's interesting. I did
And
not know that.
This gray and blue car, it's that whole grille has been customized. I couldn't tell you what year that started out to be.
Isn't that amazing? And the top obviously has been chopped on it.
Yeah.
And lowered in the back.
Yep.
And obviously a lot of power. It's too bad we can't see the engines,
Yeah.
but if you come by Oakdale Park, obviously you'll be able to. Now that Ford has a little bit of rise in the front.
It's a Mercury. Yeah. Did not come out of the factory that way.
No, I didn't think it did.
A lot of those are hydraulic.
Oh, I love the sound of those. I just absolutely love it.
You know, and here's a good way to get into customize is take something that's a late model and do some changes on it and
Trick it out a little bit.
We have what's called new age customs, and that's back in the 50s. Some people would take a brand new car and take it down to the shop and have it customized.
Oh my gosh, really?
Again, there looks like some hydraulics in the back of that one.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Look at that thing jump. That's cool.
46 to a 49 Ford. Looks like we got a Plymouth station wagon. Plymouth actually had two-door station wagons that was original like that.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So has there been anything done other than the paint on that?
That and the spinner hubcaps.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like I said, Mike, spinner hubcaps and a pair of fender skirts, and you're ready to cruise, man.
You know, next year, if you're going to do this on your own, I might just bring out the old 55 and show you guys what a real old car looks like, by golly. Here's another rat rod coming by.
Yep.
And you know, money-wise, is there a difference between that and then like this pickup and some of these
like
that are really
57 Chevy? It's got shiny paint and there's no ripples in there. I mean, that is really clean.
Yes, it is.
Now, again, here comes a newer one. This station wagon, this blue one.
Yeah.
Notice it's got flames painted on it, that's a fairly easy custom to build, and it just stands out in the crowd.
Boy, it does. It's a looker. There's no question about it. That's what and every one of these cars is different. That's what's so unique about it. The owner sees the uniqueness in it. They personalize it the way they want it, not anybody else, but the way they want it. So.
Now, look at this rat rod. You see the skulls in the front and rats on the top there, and
that is fun. I'll tell you, it really is. Oh, I love it. Then the Thunderbird. That's a beautiful restoration.
Yes, sir.
On there.
Yes, sir.
Gee.
And a Cadillac makes for a nice cruising car.
Smooth ride, isn't it?
That probably had air conditioning from the factory, Mike.
Yeah, well, mine didn't, as I had said before. But that's okay. I can still drive it once in a while when it's 72 degrees out anyway.
Okay.
Now, this is a local car.
I saw that in the paper the other day.
Yeah, he did the restoration on it. It's beautiful, beautiful. Ramblers. You don't see too many Ramblers today either.
No.
Now, I'll bet this is an original. There's no customization on this one.
Other than the paint on the wheels, air conditioning on the side, but that's an old Model A.
And then we've got a convertible. You don't see too many convertibles either.
33 to 35, and that's a Carson-style top that actually lifts off. So.
Oh, it does.
And here comes a neat Studebaker.
Yeah, and he's a local guy. He's had that car for years and years, but boy, it shows beautifully. It really does.
Studebaker wasn't a real popular car in the early 50s, and
it's worth something now.
It is.
A couple of Cadillacs going by.
I'm not sure what Cisco is.
I can't. You know, that's me. That's why I've got you. There's some of these that are going by that we don't have a clue. Now that's a Chevrolet pickup because there's a Chevrolet on the front of it.
Very good, Mike.
Am I right?
That one's Ford.
Oh, good. We're on top of it then, aren't we? It's really great. We've got one that I don't know. Maybe he just wants to get a fast start at it or something. But comes another rat rod.
Or it may even be just considered an unfinished custom.
Well, it could, yeah.
He may sand it down and paint it. Or he may be out here next year right behind your Ford.
That's true.
Still not painted.
It's very true.
There's a 58 or 59 Ford pickup that's
Beautiful.
been done real nice,
Yeah,
and
it really has.
52, 53
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Ford Victoria.
Now that almost looks like an original paint on that too. I don't know if those colors.
It
went
could be.
together.
It could
But
be.
anyway.
Just a nice, clean car.
Yeah,
Now
it's very
he's
nice.
got a few custom touches on it.
Yeah. That is. There's some creativity in every one of these that it takes a great imagination to come
Yeah.
up with some of them. That's for sure.
Here comes an Oldsmobile Tornado. That was front-wheel drive.
Or was it really?
It was from the factory. That's not, but they make a nice riding car.
Yeah, I
And
didn't know they made them that early.
yeah.
I really didn't realize that. Huh.
Here comes a 56 Ford pickup with a flatbed on the back.
Boy, he's
And
put some money
put-
into that.
Put some work into that wood,
Yeah,
that
he
oak
sure
wood.
has. It's beautiful.
And a 55 Chevy. 55 was the first year Chevrolet came out with a V8, and they were the factory hot rod.
Really? In
Yeah.
58?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. I love this one that's coming up.
That's a Deuce Roadster. When Jerry started, he started his show with the Mercs and the Deuces, and now right behind them is it's a Dodge pickup
Okay.
with a slant 6 engine in it. And I photographed that car several times.
That is amazing, boy.
Now this Model T, I've got an original one of those back in Alabama.
Do you really?
But that one's pretty nice.
Oh, that's just wonderful.
Yeah.
That is a gorgeous car.
Now, this silver and maroon one, that is the 49 to 51 Mercury. And you'll see so many different ways that these have been done.
Yeah, I've seen some paint jobs on those in the past at the show that are just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Really incredible. And when they have the drag races, how many of the cars typically go out for the drags? Do you have any idea how many they'll have out?
I don't know the number, Mike. I went out there in 2014, first year I came out here, and there was quite a few. But the most interesting drag race is they had 2 Divco milk trucks. That one belongs to an insurance company and one belongs to a bakery, and they drag raced each other.
That was fun to watch.
That was fun to watch. In fact, there's another truck was called the farm truck, which is from this area, and he was out there racing.
Oh,
it.
good Lord.
And you look at a mid-60s Chevy pickup with a little camper on the back
Yeah.
of it, and you think, what's he doing out
Yeah.
here drag racing?
Yeah.
But
Then you find out once they start.
then you find out, oh yeah, he's on TV quite often, drag racing people. So
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah.
And the power. The one thing I noticed, because it's what, an eighth of a mile, I think.
eighth or a quarter, yeah.
And
This is an eighth.
They just get a chance to turn it on, and they got to shut it down
Yeah.
pretty fast.
Yeah.
And one of them last year or the year before had almost too much power. I mean, he had a hard time controlling it.
Yeah.
But
There's what is referred to as a Series 1 Chevy pickup. They made them from 47 to 55 in that style. And those are a nice truck to get a hold of.
That is really, really
38
nice.
Chevy. Behind that, I'm not sure. Maybe a Chrysler product of some kind.
Boy, it's got a beautiful paint job. I always like the color combinations on these. They just pop. It's just beautiful.
This here, I believe, is a 60 Dodge.
Yeah.
That was like a custom coming out of the factory.
Yeah, and I saw, I don't know if it's going to be in the parade, but I saw an Edsel in one of the motel parking lots.
Yeah, that's Bobby's car. It's a 59.
Okay.
Here's a Studebaker, about a 55. And that particular model, to me, was ahead of its time.
Oh, there's no question about it.
But the people didn't catch on.
Yeah.
And Studebaker was not strong, but Ford and Chevy had come out with such great cars that year that people couldn't compete with them. So
yeah, and one of the things is that now they're so valuable. There's so few of them. They're hard to find. So
yeah, I tried to buy one time. I should have bought it, but being young and dumb at the time, I didn't pursue it hard enough. And
you'd be amazed the number of people I've talked to. If I'd have known then what I was getting rid of, I sure would have kept it. But that's just like me.
Well, hang on to that 55 Ford, Mike.
Oh, I'm going to. My daughter gets it after I'm done with it, so it's going to stay in the
So
family.
I need to talk to her about the fender skirts and the spinner hubcaps, huh?
Yeah, you do. Because I don't know that I'm gonna do it.
Mike, if you come out here this weekend, we can probably find them in the vendor road.
Well,
for you.
I know we can, But I'm not even going to come close to you because you'll have me buying those darn things before I leave. I know how you are.
Well, maybe before the night's over, Mike.
Well, that's a possibility. You never know.
It looks to be like a 31 Ford Roadster.
That's just, look at the tires.
And
They've got to cost about $1,000 a piece just for the tires.
This is called a Ranchero. That's a 57.
Boy, that's well done, isn't it? My.
Another Model T bucket. And a Chevy panel truck right behind that.
Do a lot of the people that come to the show, are these drivers or they trailer them in? I've always wondered about that. If most of these are drivers, or do you have any idea at all how many show cars there are that?
You'll see trailers around the hotel parking lots and stuff. So some are trailered, but a lot of people, they just soon drive their car.
Well, and that's the way I think a majority of the cars here today and through the weekend are that way. I mean, why invest all that money if you're not going to have fun with it and drive it?
Yeah.
So that's the way I look at it anyway.
Now, in last year's parade, there was a rat rod that came through that had chicken crates on the back. And he would come through and you'd get chicken feathers flying out at you.
Well, it's half the fun is you can see how much fun these people are having, because they wouldn't be here if they didn't have a good time. Let's just put it that way.
There's a customized Thunderbird. That grill never did look like that.
No, but, even I knew that.
You did? That's good, Mike. You're learning fast.
I'm learning. Am I not? Yes, I could tell one from another. Only challenge I'd have, as low as these are, when they have to go over a dip or something, I'd be scared to death.
And some of them have hydraulics, so they raise them up and raise them down.
That's true. I never thought of that.
Some of the guys, their hardware is low, and that's the way they stay.
Well, one of the problems and challenges I have biased tires on my old 55, and I'm trying to find wide white walls, and it's hard to do. I want to do radials. I think it'd drive a little better.
It would, but there's actually a vendor out here that has what he's called porta-walls.
Really?
And what you do is let some of the air out of your tire, and you put this white wall porta-wall on your tire and blow your tires back up again.
I might need to look him up, because I need to do something. Because
he's on the main road there, and I think it's I'm not sure what the price is, but he's got them. And if he doesn't have them there, he'll send them to you.
Okay, well, that's good. See, folks, I'm learning all sorts of things here today.
Just hand me your wallet, Mike. We'll get your car squared away.
I bet you will. I don't think that yellow Chevy that just went by is stock.
But I bet you it's fun to drive.
Oh, I'll bet it is too. Well, and also, I want to make people aware that what you're seeing tonight is just a small sample of what you're going to be able to see throughout the weekend, because not everybody's here. This is the first day, and as I said, it runs through Sunday. Isn't that gorgeous? My God.
Yes, sir.
Man. I can also contest that the gas mileage on these are probably not the best in the world in most of them.
But that makes the gas station owners here happy, doesn't it?
Very happy.
Yeah.
And the motel owners and the restaurant owners.
Oh, there's some good restaurants here.
Yes, there is. And the wife and I frequent them quite often, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, we do that. That's for sure.
Listen to that Mustang. Hear that Mustang?
Oh, that's great.
Now, a lot of these cars, Mike, they come out because they're in the age group, but they also come out because they want to go drag racing tomorrow night.
Absolutely.
And again, it is exciting to go watch these guys. And
they'll have a big crowd for that too.
Yeah.
They always do.
Yeah.
I had a friend that had a 57 Chevy like this, and he'd had it for many years, and he sold it. I couldn't quite believe that he did, but he did anyway. But
I got a buddy back home. He's got one. I says, how close are you to getting finished? And he says, well, I'm almost close. He says, all I got to do is get started.
Yeah. Here's another lead sled, because that's about the only thing that I can those, and
that's another Mercury, 4951 Mercury.
Rat rods are it's embarrassing, but they've customized so many of these cars you can't tell half the time what they are until they get right there in front of you. But
well, and some of them are customized so much that you got to really look at them for an hour or so to figure out what all they changed and what it started off as.
They've really done some work on it, and it takes a lot of time. I know. I've sometimes they put those signs in front of the cars to tell people all the work they get gone through. It takes years sometimes to get these
just
things.
To read the sign. Yeah. And then there's a lot of people, they'll take a car and they'll just make minor changes just to see if you can spot the minor change.
Yeah. They're so subtle.
And that's the fun we have with this group of people.
Yeah, it is. It's just great. Well, that looks like
no, here comes another one.
Here comes another one.
This one's been in several magazines.
Oh, isn't that beautiful?
Started off, I believe, as a Buick, and they put a 65 Pontiac top on it.
Good Lord. That is just gorgeous.
I think it's called the Copperhead.
Now, they also give trophies, don't they, during the show?
Yes, we have an award ceremony Sunday afternoon, and the top custom award is called the 777 Award, and every year that winner gets a plaque autographed or mention of his car, and it's added to the original other 777 award winners. And you got to have a pretty nice custom vehicle to get picked for that award.
I wouldn't. There's no way I would want to judge something like that. I mean, how can you? And now, are there different divisions, Bob, or is it just one star that wins?
They've got different groups, and there's different things. I mean, they'll go out and they'll look at who's got the fanciest hubcap, who's got the best tail light. Okay. There's different things. In fact, they've got a Little Mercury contest where they'll hide a Little Mercury somewhere on the show campgrounds, and if you find it, you fill out a piece of paper and say where it's at, and then they'll draw names out of a hat, and the first name they draw out, and if that person's there, they get an award.
Leave it to Jerry to come up with the quirkiest idea on trophies.
It's fun.
It's fun, yeah.
Now here comes a 55 Chevy called a Nomad. That is slick.
That is very nice.
Big custom change on there. You notice there was no door handles. You can't look that way. You got to look the other way, Mike. He'll come back.
Okay. Well,
that's a popular trend. I mean, they got kits you can put on your car, Mike. That you push the button and the door will pop open, and you don't have to push the door handle yourself.
That is something else. I love the Mustangs. I don't know. That's just one of the most classic cars I think that Ford ever made, and that's a good-looking Mustang there.
They made a lot of them, and Ford made a lot of money on that car.
Yeah, well, they deserve to. It's a beautiful, beautiful ride. GTO was one of those muscle cars, too, that is classic. Any way you look at it, it's just, a tremendous car to have.
They are, and try to buy one now. They're pretty expensive.
Yeah, like I said, this is being, other than, if you just have something restored like I did for the family, you can put an awful lot of money in these.
And you can come out to the show, Mike. They've got some cars for sale out there.
Yeah.
So you can get started, and if you want to leave your Ford in the garage, you can work on another one.
Well, that's always an idea. Not a real good idea, but an idea.
Just give me your wallet, Mike, or your checkbook. I'll write the check for you.
Yeah, well, it'll bounce, but other than that, that's okay. We'll just let Brian, our production guy here, he'll buy the car, and then I can show it for him. He'd love that. Another GTO. See, I could tell because it says GTO on the front of it.
Says it in the grill.
Way to go, Mike.
I was at another car show one time, and they had a station wagon that had GTO on the grill. That was custom, Mike.
I'll bet it was.
They never made a station wagon GTO.
Oh, now what year is that Ford? I can't.
That Ford is a 57.
That's a 57. Okay.
You know, and as sharp as that 55 Chevy looks, or 57 Chevy
Yeah.
looks, Ford outsold Chevy in 57.
Really?
Yes, sir.
I would have never thought that.
There's
something.
another Merc,
Yeah, that's a good looking one.
and right behind it's a Thunderbird. And I can't tell if it's a 55, 56, or 57, but
You talk about a classic car. That Thunderbird says it all to me. I love that sports car look, and then they made it bigger. And I don't know. I just thought that was a mistake. But what do I know about cars? I don't know anything. You're the expert. So.
I wouldn't say expert, Mike. I'm more of a shade tree guy myself. Here comes another Merc.
I just hope they don't run over kids. That would not be good. Look at that beautiful paint
I think
job.
that's a British MG or something. I'm not sure on that one.
Now that's one you don't see every day.
Nope. I'll have to look that one up on the fairgrounds when I go out there.
Exactly.
I'll find out. And
Yeah, it is an MG.
okay, here comes one of the Divco milk trucks. He was drag racing before.
The milk truck was drag racing.
Two of them.
Oh
they was
my
racing
gosh.
each other.
We haven't seen too many Corvettes. Is that the first one that we've seen go by?
First one I've seen.
Yeah. I like that T-top style on that Stingray.
He's probably been our cutoff year, and more than likely he's going to be out racing. So that's what you do with Corvettes, right, Mike?
Absolutely. Why have all that engine and not race it?
That and 55 Fords.
There you go. If you only want to go 55 miles an hour. It doesn't exactly have a powerhouse of an engine in it. It's got the 272, but...
Here comes a 56 Ford, Mike, and a yellow one. And I think somebody's made that into a Ranchero type of vehicle.
Well, that's more my style right there. Hey, yeah, he did.
Actually,
well, that is a local car, and he bought that in Australia.
Yes.
And
down there they call them Utes.
Utes? Yeah.
Willie's Jeep station wagon. After World War II, Willie's took their four-wheel drive stuff that a lot of the GIs fell in love with and put them in commercial trucks, and then they made that all-steel station wagon. And
they just keep going and going.
This Chevy pickup here is referred to as a cab-over engine, and they're becoming very popular also.
Now that is unique. Was that here last year? I can't remember whether it was. There were so many cars I couldn't.
I believe it was.
That is beautiful.
I believe it was.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Yeah. Will all of these cars be here on Sunday, or do some of them come and go depending upon? Well, I assume some of them have a long trip, so they wouldn't stay through the entire show.
Actually, quite a few of them will still be here on Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, some people do leave a little early because they do have a trip to go, and some people have to be back to work on Monday morning.
Yeah,
I'm finally retired, so I don't have to go back to work on Monday.
Isn't that a good sound? Doggone.
It's a good sound, but I'm busier now than what I was before. Keep wondering how I had time to work 40 hours a week.
There you go.
I had a couple more Mercuries. Notice the second Mercury, Mike. That's trim on the chrome on the side.
Yeah.
Is actually off like a 53 Buick.
Oh my gosh! And he designed the fender skirts so it would go.
Here's a 59
there we
Edsel
go,
station wagon.
There we go.
He's they'll be leading the church service Sunday
okay.
morning out there at the amphitheater. Super people.
Well, I can tell you one thing, that people with custom cars are the absolute friendliest people I've ever been around. I just love they're not shy. They love to talk about their cars, and they're always friendly. And I think, if more people got into doing something like this, we'd be in a better world, if you really want to know the truth.
It'll keep you out of trouble for the most part.
Yeah, they just
Now,
have so much fun.
You kind of strike me, Mike, as the type that after this cruise is over, you'd take your Ford up and down Santa Fe Street.
Yeah, well,
knowing that the cops wouldn't be here and do something probably not right.
Yeah, well, they don't call me Fast and Furious for nothing, I tell you.
Cozy and Hamburgers, I've been there, had that. They're good.
One of my favorite places. My wife doesn't, but boy, I love them. It's a great place to go get a slider. It really is.
You won't find those anywhere else.
No,
except
you
in
won't.
Salina that I know of.
No, you won't. They've got a unique taste that's just absolutely delicious. So
Yep.
if you're in town, come by and get a cozy.
Okay, here's something unique. Here's coming a Willie's Jeep. And I'll guarantee you that's not the original four-wheel drive.
No,
Take it out and run through the mud.
and on the front of it, it says dangerous, and I'll bet it is. They got their puppy in there, by golly, having a good ride.
I was at this show last year, I think, and one of the Deuce Roadsters had a sign on the back of it that said student driver.
1960 Chevy Impala.
The red Ford F-100, there's a big show in the Smoky Mountains every year. They'd moved to Lebanon, Tennessee, but once a year, they started with just those 53 to 56 F-100s.
And that's all they had.
And it's grown also. They don't have bicycles yet.
Yeah.
But they've got Ford tractors, they got Ford cars, and it's a pretty good show.
I've got to branch out and go to some of these, is what I got to do. Take the 55 out to Indiana or something. The wife would love that. Mm-hmm.
You'd enjoy the Smokies, Mike.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Maybe not quite as nice as Salina, but it's a trip.
Well, Salina's a great town. It really is.
There's a 57 Ford.
There you go. I love it. Now that is an original color too for the 57.
I believe it is, yes. 38 Chevy, that's a pretty color.
Yeah. And that is not, by the way, folks, an original color on that Chevy. I just thought I'd throw that in case you didn't notice.
There's a rat rod. Even says so on the front. So just like reading GTO, they put rat rod out there to make it easier for you, Mike.
Yeah, well, I need all the help I can get.
Another 38 Chevy.
Now this is a local rat rod.
Yeah, you see its eyeballs?
Yeah.
Now, one of the other things that's getting popular, some of the trailers that come in.
Oh my gosh. I don't have a clue what that is. I don't.
It's a European car, and I'm not sure either. I think it might be an Angelica, which is, I believe, a German Ford or an English Ford.
Okay. Now, if I didn't have Bob here, you would be hearing things like, there goes a red car and another red car.
Dodge Charger, 56 Ford F-100.
I was very happy when he said that he would help me out on this, because it's nice to see the cars, but it's good to have at least some information about something that's going by, in case you're watching, you know more about it than I do. It's really fun to see. Here comes another Edsel.
Yep, they write that in the front on the grill there, so that's easy for you to spot, Mike.
The the ones I know, I'll say, well, here comes an Edsel, because that's the only time I can actually mention something. And behind it a little ways is a Thunderbird. See, I'm on it, Bob.
Okay, when you're talking, Mike, I'll be quiet.
Yeah, well.
You're doing good, buddy.
Yeah, well,
Keep on going.
That's as far as I'm going. That's about all I can tell you right now. But it's fun for people to see, and as Brian, our production director, said, we'll be showing this time and time again on our local channel 2, so people will get an opportunity, if they miss it tonight, to see it on Channel 2 and on salinapost.com and eaglecomtv.net.
I sure am glad that Brian didn't make us stand in front of the camera, because it's much nicer looking at these cars than you and I.
Well, we'd have broke the camera. Oh, there's another Edsel.
You're a fast learner, Mike. You are a fast learner.
I'm quick. I'm really quick. That's it. And the one behind the Edsel
is a 59 Ford. First car I had in high school.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Mine was, like I said, that 55. You didn't keep it, though, did you?
Nope.
Yeah. Well, do you have any idea where it is? Nope.
Probably crushed. There's a Hudson.
Love that color. That's beautiful. That's a smooth ride, too. Now I'm going to take a guess. Chevrolet, maybe?
Yeah, next one is, too, and the next one after that.
Okay.
Okay, what year's the black one? 59. Good answer, Mike.
I don't know if anybody else is having fun, but I sure am. But anyhow.
Hey, Mike, everybody driving one of these vehicles tonight is having fun.
Oh, yeah.
People riding in bicycles, they're having fun.
Yeah.
People that come out to the showgrounds, I would say, are going to have fun.
Have a great time.
And, you can walk up to somebody sitting next to their car and start asking them questions. They will give you all kinds of answers.
Yeah, I noticed that. And I love to talk to them, because they really know their cars too,
Yeah.
and they'll point out things that you'll never even think of.
Well,
and the interiors on some of these are just absolutely incredible. They really are just impeccable all the way through.
They had a 31 Willys rat rod out here last year. I've not seen him yet this year, but I think he'll be back. That had a front end on it, had the hood, had the cab, and then the engine was behind the cab, and it had little pipes going up behind the cab that looked like a semi-truck, and it was such an engineering feat, and the car was so well done, and the bucket seats were just something I've never seen before, but it was a feature in Rat Rod magazine this past issue. So
and I wish you could see it, because Bob showed me a picture of it on his phone. It was incredible. That's all you can really say about it. It was just absolutely incredible. So now the car that just went by is a 57 Chevy Bel Air, in case you didn't know, Bob.
Yes, sir. They didn't make Impalas until 1958.
Okay.
You picked that up on the movie American Graffiti, right?
I got to meet Candy Clark and Paul Lamont from the movie American Graffiti. Great people. It was just it was a wonderful time being able to talk to them.
Well, in the 2014 show, we brought 5 wounded warriors in from Fort Riley and their family. We had 7, 8 family members, and Candy Clark was there, and I was sitting with this one guy, Mark, and just him and I alone, and she came by and she sat down and talked to him for a few minutes, and he put his arm around her and I took a picture, and then she went back to signing T-shirts. And I stopped by the Wounded Warrior Transition Battalion at Fort Riley on my way back to Alabama, and the people there told me that Mark was very quiet with the injuries from being in the Army and being overseas. They said when he got back on Monday morning, they couldn't get him to shut up.
Yeah.
How much fun he had at this show.
I tell you, and she is a class act.
She is a great lady.
I had an opportunity to take her out and little Timmy from Lassie to dinner, and I asked her how she got the part. She says, well, I interviewed with Georgia Lucas, and she said he didn't say anything. I went home, and a week later he calls me and says, I've got the part. So talk about a classic. It's in the American Music Association, one of the top 100 movies of all times.
Yeah.
I've got it, of course, on DVD, and it's...
Well, and it was funny, was when we brought the Wounded Warriors in, I started talking about the movie American Graffiti, and These guys were so young, they didn't even know what I was
Oh
talking
my
about.
gosh. Oh,
So I mailed a copy to the
Oh.
Warrior Transition Battalion and
that is a
get
great,
them caught up to speed.
Oh, it's just a great movie. I absolutely love it.
Well, Mike, I don't know if we're done yet or
Yeah,
not,
I don't
but
either.
did you count how many cars went through here?
232. No, I have no clue. I have no clue.
And I thought that was your job to know.
Yeah, right.
I was supposed to talk and you were supposed to count.
Yeah, well, good luck on that. And
Well, this is just a portion of them because,
oh
like
yeah,
I
a
say,
small portion.
there's a bunch of them that will be out there at the
Well,
fairground.
and what's so much fun is having the capability to talk to these guys about what's been done to them, because it's so interesting to get the full story on these incredibly well built, maintained, and these guys are really proud of them, and they should be. They really should be. It's just a work of art. I hope we continue to see this in Salina for years to come, and I want to thank you for being a part of the show. We also want to mention, of course, that our corporate sponsor was Bennett Buick GMC. Come experience the Bennett difference. Also sponsored in part by All Pack Battery, your first and last stop for every battery under the sun. Bright yellow building on 9th and Pacific in Salina. So I think we're going to wrap it up. The show's going to be here through Sunday, and as we said, the cruise night is just a small portion, folks, of the opportunities to see all these cars. Wait a second, we're not done. We've got
Here
some
comes
more. Yeah, so it's good that we've got a little bit. We've got all the time in the world.
65, 66 Pontiac and a 64 Ford. It's probably got Ford written on the hood there. See that?
Do you think so? Yeah. Okay, that's a Ford. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I'll okay that one for you because you need my help. It's a Galaxy 500, by the way,
Yeah.
Bob. In case you didn't notice that. No, we're not done. Let's keep this going.
I'm not sure what this is.
I am not sure either. It's a Nissan. Let's just put it that way. Now, Bob, in case you didn't know, that's a Camaro.
Thanks, Mike.
Camaro SS. So if you can remember that, I do.
SS for what?
Super Sport.
You're a pretty smart guy. Why did you need me to come down
Yeah,
here?
right. You don't see too many Shelby Mustangs in Salina. They're slightly expensive, so.
Got a Kansas plate. He ain't from too far away.
No, that's true.
Here comes a Chevrolet Caprice. About a 74, 75?
Really?
Yeah, 75.
I'm taking your word
Nope.
for it.
Yep.
Huh.
Another Mercury convertible. 54 Chevy behind it.
Looks like they're from California.
And it's possible that golf cart might be my ride home tonight.
There you go. I might need that to get to my car, so.
Oh, no, here comes some more.
Yeah,
There's a 50 Ford.
Jeez. I love the louvers on that. That is just so cool. Well, we're waiting until the last minute because we don't want to miss anything, but they're starting to come through a
Well,
little
as
slower.
you can see, the crowd's not going home yet.
No, they're not. And They want to make sure they see it. And the beauty of this, they see it twice because they go down, circle around, and come back through. So if you didn't get a good shot of it and you've got your camera out and you said, gee, I wished I'd have got a picture of that, they can get a picture of it the second time through. So that's kind of nice. You get 2 shows in one. It's kind of fun. Well, that does look like it's it. And Bob, thank you very much for being a part of it. And
Mike, I've enjoyed being here. Like I say, you drive your Ford next year, and I'll stand here with Brian, and we'll get her done.
Well, that sounds like a plan to me. And that's something I won't I forget most things, but that's something I won't forget because I had to write your last name down. But anyway, it's
you
Bob
got my
Oak.
first name done pretty well.
Yeah.
That was good. You can
Thank
spell
you.
that backwards if you want to.
Thank you very much. But that's our show for this evening in the cruise. And remember, it's the Kustom Kemps of America Lead Sled Spectacular, Oakdale Park, Salina through Sunday. I want to thank Bennett Buick GMC and also All Pack Battery for sponsoring our show. Have a nice evening.